Hey everyone, it's John from Mayo Bros, and today I want to talk about Stoicism and how it's applicable to your life and how it can make you better by strengthening your mental and physical resolve. So I did a blog post the other day about this, but I figured it was worthwhile to go into a little more detail by making a video. So today I'm going to go over 10 different Stoic strategies that you can incorporate into your life immediately that will make you a better person. So first of all, what is Stoicism? A lot of people have this vision of somebody who's just like completely emotionless and, very kind of, maybe disassociated from society, but that's not really what we're going for with, this definition of Stoicism, kind of the modern definition. So Stoicism is at its core the practice of self-mastery. So becoming better and living in a way where you're less reactive, more logical, and more physically and mentally resilient. So the whole logic behind Stoicism is that bad things are coming. They're on their way. They're really just around the next corner. So it makes sense to physically and mentally prepare for these bad things. As Sam Harris likes to say, the act of meditation and introspection really is just training for the worst day of your life. Because if the worst day of your life hasn't already happened, it's coming. It might be tomorrow, it might be in a month, it might be in 10 years, but the worst day is coming. We're all just, mortal creatures. So at the very least, we're going to die. So we might as well prepare for this. So these are the 10 strategies that I like to use in my life to, make me a little bit more resilient. Number one is fasting, intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting. Just, working on your self-discipline and your restraint by shortening the time frame in which you eat. So I like to do 18-hour daily intermittent fasts. And I also like to incorporate some 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour, and even sometimes some 85-hour fasts. I'm going to be doing some longer ones this year, and I'm really excited for them, 100 hours plus. It's a really great way to, practice deprivation. Because, a lot of people around the world survive with very minimal food. We tend to overeat here in North America. So by fasting, it's a good way to show yourself that on a daily basis, you're consuming probably a lot more than you need. It's a great way to build your self-discipline. And there's also other benefits like reduced inflammation, mental clarity, and more energy too. And it can also be a great way to burn fat. Number two is sleep on the floor from time to time. We have these luxuries of plush mattresses and beds, so it can be a good idea to just get on the floor and, just practice being uncomfortable. Surprisingly though, sleeping on the floor has some great benefits. It's actually great for spinal alignment, and a lot of people, myself included, find that it helps with the relief of low back pain. When I had a low back injury that I dealt with for many years, I found that sleeping on the floor from time to time was actually a great way to alleviate some of that pain. And sleeping on the floor just kind of makes you feel like a badass. You're like, I don't need anything. I'm just out here on the floor. And even sleeping outside in nature on the ground from time to time, I find is very just relaxing and just makes you feel pretty awesome. Number three is meditating on your death. So you're mortal, and unless some sort of supercomputer AI is able to upload your consciousness, you are going to die in the human sense of the word. So thinking about this on a daily basis is a great idea because it can help you be more present. Sam Harris talks about, I'm a real big fan of Sam Harris. He's an author and a neuroscientist. So I love his course, the Waking Up course, for my meditations. But he talks about death and he says, no matter how many times you've done something in your life, whether it's something really exciting or really mundane, there will come a day when you do that thing for the very last time. So you need to enjoy every moment you have. And by meditating on your mortality and the fact that you're going to die, it can really help to put things in perspective. Number four is daily journaling. This can really help you gain clarity of thought. And when you're doing these journals, you want to be extremely honest with yourself. I like to conduct self-audits from time to time and really break down my strengths and weaknesses and have it on a piece of paper right in front of me so I can see very clearly what it is that I need to work on. And I mean, I'm talking very small detailed things, like I'll audit my handshakes and my eye contact and my flexibility and my mobility and my vocabulary, things like that I really want to work on. So I'll go into real detail on different areas of my life and how I can improve it. And journaling is just a great way to really, I like to do it like a brain dump and just get everything on my mind on the paper. And I'm trying to be more consistent with that, and I find it really, really effective and beneficial. Cold exposure is number 5. So whether it's jumping in a frozen lake like we like to do here at Mayo Bros, or a cold shower, which we also enjoy, or an ice bath, cold exposure has many physical and psychological benefits, and it's also a great way to practice getting uncomfortable, because we don't have enough of that in today's society. So it's a really good idea to get yourself uncomfortable. The cold is amazing because it's one of those things, when you do cold exposure in a controlled environment, it's so easy to end the pain. You can just get out and turn the shower warm, whatever it is. So just getting comfortable in those situations is very powerful, and it's transferable to everyday life, because if you're practicing discomfort, then your day-to-day life is just going to be a whole lot easier. Number 6 is to practice gratitude even when you do not want to do it. So in situations where you are feeling the least grateful, do a little mental hack and switch gears and just think like, wow, I'm really lucky to even be in this situation. I'm thankful that I'm able to do this, like whatever it might be. I'm grateful for X, Y, and Z. Even like this, in this situation, when I came here to film this video, I was like, oh, I gotta film this video. I have to make it good. Like, oh, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna talk about? How am I gonna make it stick for people? And I'm like stressing out about these things. And then I take a step back and say like, wow, I get to go to my favorite place in the world, which is a gym, and talk about things that I'm passionate about on camera full time. So just doing that little mental hack just makes me so grateful for, the ability to be able to do this. And, that's just a quick example of one way that I was able to switch gears today, because you can do it every day. And the default of your mind is to keep striving towards different, more novel and better things. So it's important to, pull the gears back and just be happy with what you have in the present. Number 7 is unplanned runs. So I'm talking about just going for a run or a walk and just not having a timer on it or not having a distance in mind and just going. And what I like to do is I'll go until I say like, oh wow, I'd really like to stop right now. And then I'll say, could I go 2 more minutes if my life depended on it? Yeah, probably. So then I'll do 2 more minutes. And then after those 2 minutes is up, I'll say, could I go another 2 more minutes? And if the answer is yes, then I'll keep going. And I'll do that repeatedly, because running and walking, if running is not an option for you, is a very stoic exercise. It takes a lot of discipline, and it's just difficult. It's just hard to do. Running is just inherently difficult. So it's a good idea to implement that into your physical practice and just keep going and don't have a plan and just kind of go for as long as you can. Don't hurt yourself, obviously. If you're in pain, stop, but just see how far you can push yourself. Number 8 is clothing. So what I like to do, I learned this from, I think it was the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Just wear ridiculous shit in public from time to time. If you follow us on Instagram, you've probably seen some of the ridiculous outfits I'll wear from time to time in our stories. But, just getting on a public transit bus in just a stupid outfit. Like I have these fish pants. They're like a teal color with just a bunch of fish swimming over them. I used to have these weird elephant parachute pants that I wear, just stupid zebra colored coats. Just like really getting used to not giving a shit what people think about you is super important, because if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to not care what people think about you. I'm not saying be a crappy person and don't care. Like, do your absolute best and be as awesome as you can. But no matter what you do in life, a lot of people aren't going to like you and they're going to be haters. So get used to that and just, practice being against the current, practice being out of the ordinary by wearing ridiculous shit in public. Number 9 is to minimize. So becoming a minimalist becoming a minimalist is one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. Just, clearing out all the junk in my life, all the clutter, and really trimming things down to the absolute essentials is a really good idea. And travel is a great way to do this, because when you're traveling, you're forced to carry all of your belongings with you, whether it's in a suitcase or a backpack. So what I like to do is after I travel, after I've minimized for that trip, I will come home and I'll try to say, okay, I'm gonna try to get everything I own into a backpack. Obviously not things like kitchen supplies or tables or weight equipment, but just the day-to-day stuff that you might use in terms of like clothing or excess clutter. I try to have nothing in my life that isn't absolutely essential. So this can be a very Stoic exercise in just, purging yourself of all of the things that you don't necessarily need. Number 10, this might sound weird, no-fap. So no-fap is basically not masturbating. So when I first heard about this, I was like, that's kind of weird. Like, I'm not into that because, it's fun to do that from time to time. And I think this is obviously a little bit more applicable to men. I haven't really heard of the female no-fap movement. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, if there is one. But when my friend first told me about this, I was like, yeah, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. But, I started watching some YouTube videos on different people that were really big proponents of no-fap. So I gave it a go, and it's actually really awesome. I find I have more energy. And, as a guy, I find that throughout the day, you'll just have these like random urges pop up where you're just like, damn, I'm feeling pretty frisky right now. And like oftentimes you just kind of go with that urge and like, all right, well, whatever. I'm just gonna masturbate. I'm just gonna do it, whatever. But to have that self-restraint to say like, no, I'm not gonna do that, that can be, a very good way to build self-discipline. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I find it's effective, and I've heard a lot of people that do it often and they find it very effective too. So those are 10 Stoic strategies that you can implement into your life right now that will help you build self-discipline and mental and physical resolve. I hope they help, and happy Stoicism. See you on the next video.